On tonight's Attack of the Show, we're all about the 3Gs.
Gargoyles, gramophones, and gerontophiles.
Close. It's actually a special edition devoted to girls, geeks, and gore. Ready or not, you're about to be attacked. Get them. Go. Get them. Go, go, go.
Pick up on this.
What is going on out there? Welcome to Attack of the Show. My name is Kevin Pereira.
And my name is Olivia Munn. Tonight we're bringing you an Attack of the Show special edition as we prepare for our week-long live coverage of E3, the world's biggest video game event.
Yes, we're just 5 days out from the year's biggest news on titles for the PlayStation 3, Nintendo Revolution, and the Xbox 360.
Keep it right here on G4 all through our E3 countdown for more of the up-to-the-second news about the year's biggest gaming event.
Yep. Our live marathon coverage begins May 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it.
Oh. You want more?
There can't possibly be more, Olivia. There can't be any more.
There is, in fact, more, because there will be all new Attack of the Shows beginning May 15th. We'll have a new set, new faces, and more of that signature Attack of the Show attitude.
Yes, but in the meantime, today is all about my 3 favorite things: girls, geeks, and gore.
Plus, it's great alliteration.
It is.
I love alliteration. We're going to be all over the best that ladies, nerds, and violence have to offer.
And that's plenty. For example, when they outlaw sexiness, this first guest is in for a long spell in the big house. Not like any prison could actually ever hold the super assassin star of Ultraviolet.
You, my friend, are a geek icon. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of this, but between Fifth Element, Resident Evil, and Ultraviolet, you're on the same nerd pedestal as Darth Vader for most people.
Yes.
And is that a big deal? How does that feel to you?
It's awesome. I mean, I have to say I was a big fan of sci-fi and fantasy growing up, so I guess, you know, I was kind of a geek too.
Ah. Now, do you understand, like, what is it about geeks that they like a woman who could totally kick their ass? And why is that?
The geek spurt here.
Yeah, I'm curious, because, you know, you are appealing to them, and is it just because that, like, the thought that while you're beating them up, you'd actually physically be touching them? Or is there something else going on here?
Well, I don't know. You don't feel excited by thinking about a beautiful woman kind of messing you around?
I like getting roughed up by the ladies every now and then. Don't get me wrong,
but exclusive to geeks. You know?
so it's guys in general. See, that's all I know. That's all I know. Browse my MySpace. It's nothing but geeks. I want to talk about the Ultraviolet because I'm driving home from work. Your midriff is not only perfectly sculpted, but it is everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm driving down Venice Boulevard, and every billboard and bus shelter, it's just there you are with a sword, and it's added like another 7.5 minutes to my commute, so thank you for that. But that aside, you know, I'm sold. Just the poster with, again, the midriff and the sword, I'm sold.
Well, listen, it wasn't easy, let me tell you. I mean, I had like 7 months of training to get ready for this film. That was before the real training in China started, because I like went in to meet the choreographer like 6-7 months before we went to film the movie, and I was so inspired by the team of people that he had prepared for me, and I just started learning things immediately. And they gave me like some sticks to take home and a sword, and I was like practicing for 6 months, and then we went 3 months in China, like rehearsing 6 to 8 hour days and stuff. But we started the rehearsals way before.
Well, I know that they gave you sticks and a sword, and I was told that you kind of went crazy in the hotel room and trashed it like a rock star. Is that true?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the only thing missing was like the parties, you know, but it definitely looked like a rock star's hotel room. I mean, there was light shattered, there was like chunks missing out of the ceiling, because I do all these like I flip swords and stuff, so it'd just be like dash, dash, dash. Then, you know, the director like comes up to me like, oh, let's see what you learned. Let's see what you learned in fight class. Ooh. And he's like, come on, punch me. So I was like, all right, I punched him. He's like, oh yeah,
please,
whatever,
is that all you got?
blah, blah, blah. So I punched him again. He's like, yeah, whatever. Right. So I just like went, bah! You know, and sorry.
No, I thought that the wind, there was wind up there. I'm easily startled, Mila. That was crazy.
No, I knew what I was doing. I wasn't trying to hurt you.
Okay. You want to take a shot, though? I mean, really? We're out of time, but it'd be a great way to end it.
Don't do this to yourself.
I'm not going to. How about I just gingerly shake your hand and thank you for coming on the show? I'm a little... No? Is that all right, Mila?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much for coming on.
You.
We appreciate it.
Pretty tough, right? And hot.
I could take her.
I don't know, Olivia. I know you're tough. You knock me around backstage plenty, but the woman has like a 24-pack, like ridiculous. Those are her muscles, bulging. after some sit-ups.
All right, but these MySpace girls, yeah, that's another matter. They're fighters. I can just tell.
I am one of you, and I am going to show you why. It's my collection of Transformers here. My favorite piece is Megatron. In the box, I couldn't pass it up. The new Star Wars Transformers, which was the best idea in the world. My Little Ponies, because I am a child of the 80s and I'm a girl. My dad's a rocket scientist for NASA, and he got me into Star Trek. I have my little figures here from when I was a kid. They can just sit right here and go along with me all day long. My Xbox 360. Let me just tell you, you need to play King Kong. I have an 8-bit Nintendo, and I have a Super Nintendo here. About 400 movies. Boy, where do I begin on that? The first issue of Astonishing X-Men, and it's signed by Joss Whedon. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'm just sitting here reading my EGM in my fabulous Phoenix bathroom. I do enjoy making very elaborate costumes for Halloween. I made an Emma Frost costume and a Poison Ivy costume. I showed up at the Barnes & Noble in Burbank, and there just happened to be a girl dressed up like Robin, and her boyfriend was there dressed up like Batman. We clearly have to fight. Some of my hobbies are jumping on trampolines. Yeah, I'm definitely not normal. Get ready, because here it all comes.
So what'd you think of Dawn, Kevin?
You know, I have no opinions, Olivia. This is a democracy, and I serve the will of the people. Yeah. Coming up after the break, we'll meet the new Laura Croft and go a-geeking with the EverQuest crowd when Attack of the Show returns. You ever gone a-geeking?
No, I haven't, but you serve the people. I think not.
Oh, I do. I serve them anything I want.
Really? Welcome back to this special girly, geeky, gory edition of Attack of the Show. You've come to the right place.
Absolutely. You know, when the folks behind EverQuest launched a worldwide search for the real-life Antonia Bale, the result was pretty easy to predict, Olivia. Geekorama.
Sure, it smacks of marketing, but let's hear you complain about this.
Everybody says how cute and beautiful I am. I work out a lot, and
You work out?
yeah, the lower half's even better.
We're looking for a beautiful woman, obviously, but we're looking for somebody a little bit more than that. We want somebody who's confident, who really will capture everything that Antonia is about.
It seems like a really cool concept. I'd love to be part of something like that.
Of course, Antonia is Antonia Bale from EverQuest 2. Girls who look like her, some more than others, are lining up. Oh, but it's about more than just a great body. Actually, you know what? Let's watch that again. Damn. What were we talking about? Right. They want a girl who has Antonia's qualities or something. People go online and vote for their favorite girl at questforantonia.com. And then they can go and, yeah.
Now in August, the top 5 online vote-getters are going to be flown back here to Vegas for a Vegas-style pageant. Swimming suits and the interview questions, and they will be going corset to corset to see who gets to be crowned Antonia, which is, of course, the perfect girl in the EverQuest 2 world.
That is one good-looking nerd.
I have to agree. Normally, nerds don't really do anything for me, but, wow.
Right, right. Of course, Antonia isn't the only video game heroine to inspire the adore of so many fans. A little lady named Laura Croft comes to mind, actually.
I wish I was Laura Croft.
Me too. The one, the only official Lara Croft Tomb Raider spokesmodel, Karima, thank you.
Thank you. I'm
for,
happy
for
to be here.
gracing us with your presence here. This is amazing. I never thought it'd be off the monitor, so thank you so much.
No problem.
How did you? First of all, congratulations. This is a big
Thank
deal.
you.
How long have you known that you were going to be the official Tomb Raider?
Well, I've known about 3 months, but the unveiling was actually last week on February 14th for Laura's birthday.
Oh well, happy birthday to her and
Thank
yourself.
you.
Now, were you familiar with the franchise before? How did you get the gig from IDOS?
Oh, absolutely. I've known Lara for about 10 years. I had the first 2 games. I've just followed her throughout her career. And how did I get the gig?
Yes.
Well, IDOS held an international search for about over 1,000 girls. So I got put up by my agency because I was modeling in London at the time, and I got a call back for another audition where I had to dress up as Laura, you know, gun moves, do my thing.
You didn't shoot any wolves or the backflip off conference room tables?
Well, I did threaten the bosses if they didn't choose me, they were going to be in trouble.
That's a
And I
go.
think that was quite good.
Good. That's good. Now I noticed that you have the holster. You're completely equipped.
Well, I'm actually missing some of my things. I'm missing my grenades, and these aren't really
What's a girl to do without
my
her
normal
grenades?
guns, because they wouldn't let me through customs, which I'm not very happy about.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Here at
but-
LAX, they let anybody through. It doesn't matter what kind of explosives you have.
Well, you know.
I guess you were an unfortunate one. Have you had any training with the guns, or are you going to get any official firearm training?
Well, actually, I'm going as soon as I'm done on the mini tour here in the States. I'm going back to London. I'm going off to Croatia to do, well, get a degree in firearms, I guess.
Not bad.
Yeah, so quite exciting stuff.
It would be. I would love for you to come back to the show because it would be an honor to take a pot shot from you, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Karima, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Have you ever seen just such
Guns?
guns? Yes. Thank you, Olivia. Guns. Yeah.
Well, speaking of guns, uh-oh, here comes another one of those crazy MySpace girls. That Heather's got some moxie.
Hi, my name's Heather. This is my place, probably where I spend most of my time playing games, other things, so why don't you come take a look? This is my computer right here. I'm running a AMD dual-core 4400. I'm cooling it with the Zalman 7700, 2 gigs of OCC titanium memory, Asus 8N SLI Deluxe motherboard, EVGA 7800 GTX 256 megs, a Sony 23-inch widescreen monitor. You'll notice I have 3 mice. Not sure exactly why. As you can see, I'm playing WoW here, or World of Warcraft. Just about a couple days ago, I hit level 60 on my first character. What the f***? I'm gonna die. I have a level 60 rogue on Draenor. I have a couple other characters. I have like a 49 hunter on Doomhammer. I have a level 18 warrior on Draenor as well. That's a horde. It's addictive. It's like heroin. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm just reading my Maxim PC sitting on my awesome vibrator chair, which isn't my only vibrator, if you know what I mean. I just want to give a shout out to Dawn, because I just hope she doesn't cry too hard when I beat her next week. Isn't that right, Tammy?
You know what's really freaky, Kev?
What?
I looked at Heather's profile, and she knows that Tom guy, too. How crazy is that? Like, small world, huh?
Very small world, Olivia.
It's weird. Yeah,
Stick
tell him I said hi.
around, everybody. We've got lots more to show for you, including some shocking footage of the Gnerd in its natural habitat. When Attack of the Show continues.
I can send you his link, and you could
Olivia.
become friends with him, too, because we could all hang out and go, like, El Pollo Loco or something.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show's special Girls, Geeks, and Gore edition.
We're ramping up for our week-long live coverage of E3, the world's biggest video game event.
We're just 5 days out from the year's biggest news on titles for the PS3, Nintendo Revolution, and Xbox 360. Keep it right here on G4 all through our E3 countdown for previews of all the coolest next-gen games. Our live marathon coverage begins May 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, and now for breaking E3 news, you have to turn to E3Insider.com.
That's the official website of E3.
Sure is. E3Insider.com. It's really your source for news, demos, and even Joel Gordine's unique fan cam coverage of the events as they unfold.
Yes. Watch it live or download the podcast of all your E3 news at E3Insider.com.
Oh, and speaking of E3, it really happens to be a common foraging ground, if you will, for that rare and elusive species, the North American Gnerd.
Talisker Fernley here, noted sociologist, anthropologist, and lover of all things science. Last year, I discovered a new species of man, a unique combination of geek and nerd. The Gnerd lived only to feed, and fed only on E3 convention swag. Since that sensual discovery, my team of researchers here at the Talisker Fernley Institute have discovered a full Gnerdus family tree, with branches extending in every conceivable direction.
According to legend, this species gathers in the same hidden location each year to celebrate their love of the online role-playing game Final Fantasy XI.
Eureka! Eureka! Eureka!
Eureka! I had found it.
Come on already!
Behold, the Final Fantasians. Look at them. Their magnificent garments clearly a reflection of their in-game persona. I knew the next step was to approach a small tribe at their primary activity area and find out more about this breed's parallel universe, the magical realm of Vanadiel.
How is everyone doing tonight? So you live in Vanadiel?
Yes.
But you're all here now.
I noticed two recurring themes that kept driving them back to their fantasy world. The shared sense of community and the ability to become exactly what one wished to be.
So you have rings that make you smarter.
Yeah.
So, I've heard tale of these tantalizing feminine cat creatures. What are these things?
Mithra, yes.
So, all of the Mithra are hot?
Just gorgeous.
Do you think they would marry a human anthropologist?
Yes.
Fantastic.
As if by divine providence, I managed to spot a small cabal of these Mithra huddled around a space heater. I approached cautiously in the name of science.
This is my Final Fantasy, I can tell you that. In our world, I'm a respected anthropologist with a GED. But as a Final Fantasian, I can be anything. A ninja, a monk, or my ultimate dream, a man with 4 fabulous cat wives.
If we found a breeding pair, then we could actually preserve the Gnurd from extinction.
Yeah, one problem, they don't breed. Yeah.
I know a thing or two about card games. I mean, I don't need to brag, but I play a pretty vicious hand of Go Fish. But Antonio De Rosa could school me on Magic: The Gathering.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure.
Professional Magic: The Gathering player. I mean, you have, like, what's the pro lifestyle like? Are you guys hanging out in the Motel 6, trashing rooms, drinking Jack, talking about frost giants? What's it like being a pro Magic player?
Well, it's just you and a couple of your friends. You travel all over the world, anywhere from Japan, Europe, Australia, and just, I mean, we don't stay in Motel 6, but we don't stay at the Hilton either.
But so you get to travel all around the world. And is it a close-knit group of people, like at the top?
I mean,
in the ivory tower where you're staying, looking down on the rest of the Magic Gathering players?
There's a bunch of different groups.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people are, you know, they practice and travel with people from their own countries.
Is there like rivalries? Is it like USA, people chanting and Stars and Stripes?
At the World Championships is more or less like that. Right. You know, everyone's cheering on for their favorite country, and you know, we're just there to represent America and hopefully try to win.
Antonio, what is this in my hand here?
That's basically there are these.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, they're basically these baseball cards that Wizards wanted to put in their starter decks and booster packs. Just kind of validate what being a pro Magic player really is.
Sure.
So there's a lot of money in the game, and you know they want to show other people that if you do this, you can win some money out doing it.
Sure. Now, you've been playing Magic: The Gathering for over 6 years, I'm told.
Yep.
Now, you know, has it gotten old? Is it constantly new whenever they release new expansions? You know, is no game ever the same? How does it work for you?
Yeah, Magic is so great because this game, you have these 60 cards in a deck, and every time it's like you randomly draw a combination of cards, and your opponent randomly draws a combination of cards. So the games are always different. That's what's so much fun about it. You know, you play a game of, you know, Risk, Monopoly. Sometimes, you know, after you do X amount of combinations of, you know, strategies, then it gets old.
You get it. You've landed on Boardwalk. You know exactly how much the hotel costs.
Yep.
Done.
So Magic is cool because you get to, you know, every game's different.
Very nice. Antonio, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
Best of luck on the next tournament.
Do you play Magic, Kevin?
Only the Siegfried and Roy pack. I don't know what that means.
Neither do I. Well, every year the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency sponsors a race across difficult desert terrain. But there's a catch. The cars have to drive themselves.
I'm here in Primm, Nevada at the start of the DARPA Grand Challenge. 23 teams are racing 131 miles throughout the desert in 10 hours or less. And the best part is, no one's at the wheel. The Grand Challenge is a contest put on by the Defense Department to get schools and big business moving on autonomous vehicles.
In chute number 2 from Palo Alto, California, bot number 3, Stanford Racing Team's Stanley.
We have a modified Volkswagen Touareg. It's skid plating, it has been reinforced. The team itself is composed of people from Stanford University, Volkswagen of America, Mo Davidoff. We focus on software, so we have very advanced artificial intelligence software.
In chute number 3, bot number 19 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, red team Sandstorm.
So we have a 1986 Humvee. It's military surplus. We took the top off it, cut it open, put this electronics enclosure where all our computers are, and we have this dome up on top here, which contains our long-range laser sensing.
The teams were given a course outline just 2 hours before the start of the race. Engineers rushed to program the info into the vehicle's software, because once the vehicles are off, there's nothing anybody can do about it.
They're driving without any human help. A few hours into the race, and the cars are still taking off, while others are coming back for a second pass. Some are passing, some are dropping out, and it's tough to tell who's winning. Although it's a close one between Stanford's Stanley and Carnegie Mellon's Sandstorm. And with less than a mile left, Stanford's Stanley appears on the horizon, making history and earning the $2 million prize.
This is the beginning. We have shown that we can build cars that can drive themselves. The impossible has been achieved. Now it's just a matter of time until it happens, and it will happen, I promise you.
Yeah, with all due respect, those entrants don't look particularly promising.
Yeah, I don't think I'll fire my chauffeur just yet.
Sweet.
Still
so
got a job.
Still got a gig.
Yeah.
Nice. Stick around. There's lots more to come after the break, including a visit with Patton Oswalt when Attack of the Show continues.
Attack of the Show, baby. Attack.
You won the creepy smile off. Wow, well done. Welcome back to Attack of the Show special Girls, Geeks, and Gore edition.
We'll visit Hogwarts in this half hour and check in with the creators of Hostel and Saw 2. But first...
Yes, but first, some guests might take offense at the geek label. But with the size of his comic book collection, comedian Patton Oswalt cops to it pretty happily. Patton, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks,
You found
man.
my single shot. Good job, buddy.
I like it, man.
You're a pro at this. I mean, you've done this before.
I'm getting pretty good, yeah. Comedian, actor, husband, and Metamucil user. I can't even say Metamucil.
It's fine. Patton, before you fall apart on me.
Well, easy. Dude, don't bend these.
Yeah,
man.
oh, I'm sorry. These are mint. These were sealed hermetically, or...
Let me...
Do you want to punch a PA? We can get somebody out here.
Yeah, is there like
Can we get a PA? Somebody.
Who's a PA with a sturdy neck? It won't be. It'll be 6 inches. That's.
It'll be a light wrap. No. We actually don't have PAs. I pretty much grab the own coffee.
This past Wednesday was every Wednesday. That's when new comics come out.
Yep.
That's when geeks get well. And I also love how me and all my nerd friends have different systems for reading stuff. Whereas I go in like a weird numerical order, and I always try to end it on like issue 6 of 6 or 5 of 5. Other friends do it alphabetically. It's insane.
But you don't just read. You also wrote.
I wrote an issue of the Justice League, and then there's a chance, and I'll know in the next couple weeks that they might give me Justice League Unlimited to start doing monthly.
Wow.
But I just got to pitch a bunch of stories
That's a
and
big
see if
deal.
they like it. That's a very big deal.
Well, I mean, so now you
Which
have
I don't want to mess up.
But you have the power to make these superheroes pretty much do whatever you want.
Did you just say I have the power to make these superheroes do whatever?
Well, that's exactly what I said.
I have the power to stay awake till 4 a.m. In my underwear writing these stories.
Well, that's got to be empowering.
What if Giganta had sex with the Atom? Would that be possible?
See, that's exactly where I'm going. I expect to see some interesting...
God, this was such a good Wednesday. Let me go through the titles I bought.
All right, let me
tell you. Okay, this is Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. This is by a guy named Mike Mignola, who's a genius. Awesome comic.
All right. We've got time for one more. What was the best? The best of the bunch left.
Oh, well, it's the new, this is a guy named Warren Ellis. Anything with this guy Warren Ellis writes is called Ultimate Secret, but this guy is nuts. He's like this insane genius. I got to hang out with him in London, and everything he writes is like something that a mental patient would write, except it involves superheroes. It's brilliant.
See, that's what I expect your issues to be like if they give it to you.
They will be.
So please stay up till 5 in the undies. Drink a lot of coffee.
That's my plan.
Patton, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me on.
Patton has quite a responsibility. It's like he's representing geeks all over the world.
No, it's true. And if I may, Patton, seriously, responsibility. When you grab Angelina Jolie's ass at some Hollywood party, you're doing it for all of us. Sorry, I just want to make sure he knows it's very serious. Seriously, I hate to bring you all down, but Hogwarts has they've hit some really tough times.
Welcome, students of Hogwarts, to another glorious year. As some of you may have already heard, due to district rezoning, Hogwarts has had to go public. This means that, for the first time in its history, Hogwarts will have to admit Muggle students. Now, settle down, please. Do not look on this as a bad thing. Quite the contrary. This will provide new experiences to you, young wizards. You'll meet new and interesting people. remain our school's top sport. But we will also be fielding Hogwarts' first American football team. Finally, the houses of Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin are no longer adequate enough to house all the incoming students. Therefore, we have allowed the incoming class to name their own houses. They are as follows. The Kill-As, the Good Charlottes, and Peace Utopia. And due to new state regulations, we are required by law to add Special Ed Indoor. So, enjoy another year here at Hogwarts.
I am proud to be part of a show that tackles serious issues like that.
Personally, I see it as our duty to the youth of America, Olivia.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. We've got lots more girls, geeks, and gore for you, including a visit to the land of the dead when Attack of the Show continues. Hey.
Attack of the Show, baby. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show's special Girls, Geeks, and Gore edition.
Ever been to a cake party at Saw 2 director Darren Lynn Bousman's house?
There will be Bud. Oh, yes. There will be Bud.
Darren, welcome to the couch.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Big weekend for you, isn't it, my friend?
Yeah, it is.
So you're yawning this morning when you wake up in bed, nice stretch, and then at the end you roll over, you hit the alarm clock and think, I have the #1 movie out in America right now.
Yeah, I mean, even thinking about it right now, it doesn't seem real. It hasn't sunk in.
Yeah. You know, you got a call from the guys from the original Saw.
Yeah.
You know, we've had them on the show as well, and you know, good guys. But did they welcome you in, or were they like, hey, you're this new guy?
No,
this is our movie. This is our baby. This is our cult hit. Don't screw it up.
I think one thing I can remember about James and Lee, in the first month after they decided to let me do it, I would get phone calls at all hours of the morning, and it would be James like calling me from Australia, just saying, Darren, don't screw up the franchise. And he'd hang up. And then like 2 hours later, Lee would call me. It'd be 4 o'clock in the morning. He'd be like, Darren, no pressure. It's the biggest horror film last year. And then hang up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of their favorite things to do. But no, they were great guys. I mean, it really is like a family with the Saw universe. And they were great letting me into it.
Yeah. So did you feel the pressure though? Because obviously they're razzing you, but I mean, you must have felt it a bit, right?
it was ridiculous. I mean, the Saw, when Saw was released, it had such a huge fan base. And I mean, there are people that dress up like this movie and go see it. It's almost got that Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of thing with the first Saw. So coming into it, the expectations were huge. I mean, no one thought we can turn off a sequel as quickly as we did. I mean, it was exactly a year to the date from the first Saw.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, the expectations were ridiculous.
One final thing, you said you were checking out the websites and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. How is the Saw online community, and how close are you working with them?
There's a couple. I mean, like the houseofjigsaw.com. I actually go on it quite frequently, and just to see what the fans think. I think you'd be surprised about how many of the people that are involved in Saw actually go on those web pages and read what the fans think and what they want to see. Even when we were writing the script, we went on there, and because we adapted my script, and we made it was a pretty big rewrite. We would go on there and see what they loved about the first one and what they hated about the first one, and we tried to tailor it to them. They're a loyal fan base, so we wanted to be loyal to them as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Thank you very
on the
much.
film, man.
You know, it's pretty cool. I heard that Bousman actually just got signed on to direct a new Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Really?
Yeah. There will be FUD. Oh, yes. There will be FUD.
Oh, that was lame, Kevin.
Listen, Attack of the Show is about more than just beating lame jokes to death. It's true.
Yeah, we also bring you up to the second gaming news, like when we head to E3 all next week.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, can take you inside E3 like G4 can. So be sure to check us out beginning May 9th for 3 hours of live coverage every day at 6 p.m. Eastern.
We'll have exclusive coverage on all the most anticipated games for next-gen consoles and talk to the biggest names in the industry. Also, I was promised ice cream, Kevin.
I will get you ice cream and a pony, Olivia.
Rocky Road.
Done.
And a white pony.
Join us
Black
May
spot.
9th through the 12th when we take you there live style.
You know, I was thinking of backpacking around Europe this summer, but then I saw Eli Roth's movie Hostel.
Oh, yeah. It does for European travel what Helter Skelter did for Southern California real estate values.
And I like my arms. attached.
Eli, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man.
Thanks
Good
for
to be
coming
here.
on. Congrats on everything. This is
Thank
huge.
you so much. Yeah, no, I'm really, really excited. It's, you know, after Cabin Fever, it's sort of, I wasn't sure what to do with my second film, and I'm really, really happy.
Were you
with how
worried about a
everything's going.
follow-up? Did you think you needed a project that would live up to it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I got offered a lot of different studio movies, and you think like, God, you know, should I take one of these $30 or $40 million horror films? Because Cabin Fever we made for $1.5 million. Sure. And then I thought, you know, it was actually Tarantino who encouraged me to go and do another low-budget movie, and it's cool. You know, a lot of these movies like King Kong is $200 million, Narnia is $200 million. Our movie is like $4 million. So
Right.
it's just pretty cool to kind of have a movie out there in theaters.
Now, what is Quentin's involvement then? Because I'm told you said that
He's
kind of
presenting the
encouraged you
film.
to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean,
does he come out before each show in a top hat and a cane and do a little dance and say,
does
"Here you
a-
go"? You know, maybe a little aristocrats joke or
Yeah.
How
no,
is Quentin?
We actually have an animated Quentin that does it in a logo.
A little flash version?
No, Quentin, you know, he really loved Cabin Fever and was a big, big supporter of mine. And it was really helpful having someone who's, you know, your hero, you know, support you that way. And
I wouldn't know
you know,
what that's like at all.
Well, I didn't know either until he called me up and was like, "Hey, want to come to my house and watch War of the Gargantuas?" And you're like, "Yeah." So you sit there and you're geeking out and you're like, "Oh my God, there's Quentin Tarantino and there's War of the Gargantuas." And he's like, you know, we just sort of struck up this weird friendship of watching movies together. And he, you know, I was talking, I was like, I don't know what to do next. What do you think? Should I do this or that?
Sure.
And I told him the idea for Hostel, and he was like, that is the sickest idea I've ever heard from him. He's like, you've got to do that. I went and I shot the film, and after, you know, we saw it, and he was really helpful in the editing. And, you know, we said, you know what, you've been basically functioning as an executive producer. So he came on as an executive producer as well as you know, Quentin Tarantino Presents. I mean, what he does is it helps sort of raise the profile of the movie.
Well, of course, Eli. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're
My
excited about
pleasure.
the film,
Oh,
and I
very
know that they're all
excited.
excited as well, and they should all go see it.
Yeah, it's a good date movie because this is the movie where, like, if you bring a guy or a girl, you're gonna hold their hand, you're gonna be giving each other a lap dance by the end of the film. Because you'll be squeezing each other.
There we have it.
I prefer to stay in hotels when I travel.
Yeah, it's much nicer. You get the little mints on the pillows and nobody murders you. And in other news of the dead, field reporter Brenda Moran visited the set of the movie Dead and Deader to become a zombie.
I'm here on the set of Dead and Deader. It's a zombie movie starring Dean Cain, who has to save the world from, you guessed it, zombies. So today, I'm actually going to get my big break in movies. They're going to make me an extra in the film. A zombie.
Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to rip your neck out on camera. Okay, this is a foam latex material. We're going to glue that down, and then the piece gets glued over it. Hook this up to a bigger tube, and we'll be able to pump lots of fluid coming out of your neck. All the blood and fluid is going to be coming out of this hole down. Go in and start airbrushing your gore up. But you never heard that.
From a guy, no.
Excuse me while I blow you.
I'm ready for my close-up. In Dead and Deader, the zombies compare how to other zombie films? Are they moving faster?
Most of these zombies are freshly turned, so they still got a little bit of get up and going.
That's Nick, the stunt coordinator / zombie school teacher. That's right, zombie school.
A lot of movement in the hips. Keep the mentality in your head of insanity from hunger. You're all tensed up and got no idea how to deal with it. If you saw your mom in front of you, she's a hot dog. That's all she is. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It just rage. Ultimately, we got makeup on you, but I mean, you guys gotta sell it. We got a basic idea.
And now that I've graduated from zombie school, it's off to the set. And just like that, my film career begins. And I'm not even in the shot.
Are you afraid of zombies, Kevin?
Only when they're behind the wheel. They drive like women. But you I like, so stick around because there's more Girls, Geeks, and Gore coming up in this Attack of the Show special edition right after this.
You like me?
No, I mean, I like the viewer.
But what? Oh. But do you like me?
Well, I get paid to. Welcome back to Attack of the Show special Girls, Geeks, and Gore edition.
We're gearing up for our week-long live coverage of E3, the world's biggest video game event.
We're just 4 days out from the year's biggest news on titles for the PlayStation 3, Nintendo Revolution, and the Xbox 360.
Our live marathon coverage begins May 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So you want to look like a satyr or a zombie or a stone-faced killer? You ought to get to know some of our pals. They're some of the top special effects makeup guys in Hollywood.
Greg, I believe congratulations are in order. You won an Oscar last night.
Yes, we won for
Wow.
Chronicles of Narnia. It's been an amazing 6 months between the Hollywood Film Festival. We won for Sin City. We won a British Academy Award for Narnia, and then last night my partner Howard Berger, who was the key supervisor on Narnia, went and very nicely accepted the Academy Award.
I mean, what a way to feel validated for good work. We actually have the fawn head from Narnia here
Yes.
on the set. I mean, check this out. It's amazing. And then we even have Marv from Sin City over on the other side.
Yes, James McAvoy and Mickey Rourke joined us today for our little...
Yeah, thanks, gentlemen. I mean, but honestly, I mean, they're so realistic. It's hard for me, especially this guy here. It's really hard for me to not, expect him to blink. How do you take it to the next level?
We start with Photoshop artwork. We get the director to approve that, and then once they cast the actor, we bring the actor into K&B, and we live cast him. And then from there, we create
Hey, that
the
guy
foam
looks
latex
familiar.
prosthetics. Yes, the producers and director actually said, "Hey, you want to play one of the mutants in the movie?" I said, "Sure."
That's a nice bonus.
It was very exciting, actually. Well, what we did was this is actually a live cast of Michael Bailey Smith, who played Pluto. So what we did was we created all these individual foam latex pieces. So every day when we would get into the makeup process, we would start with the back of the head, we'd put the nose on, we'd put the side of the face on,
Wow.
and then this would all get blended off and painted, and then it would they'd lay all the hair on it, and then this is what we would end up with. As we go through the process, it's a fine line to make sure that the coloration is just right,
Yeah.
that the dentures push out the lips just enough, and we're really proud of how the characters look in the
I
movie.
mean, I'm standing right behind this guy here, and I mean, even just the pores and the way that the skin crinkles right at the neck.
Well, you can see it.
Quite a bit of work here.
There's pore texture sculpted in all of these pieces. I mean, we have some of the greatest sculptors, painters, lab people.
Well, Greg, thank you so much for being here, bringing some of your friends, and
Yes.
also for your Oscar. I
Oh,
mean, does it get any better than that?
We're pretty excited and very proud of Howard and everybody at K&B.
We're back with special effects makeup artist Robert Hull, who's got some nightmare fodder to show us. Rob, thanks for stopping by, of course.
Thank you.
And for bringing some of your wonderful creations. I got to be honest, a little freaked out by them.
You're freaked out.
I came
you
over
see a
and
lot of stuff on this show.
I'm touched. Yeah, but I mean, it's not often I get to touch a woman, let alone a fake one.
Like
that feels
foils?
real. I mean, yeah. What's going on here? What's she from?
She, this is the Jasmine head from season 4, I believe, of Angel. And she had maggots all over, and she was just, your standard decomposing zombie puppet thingy.
You just jump right in there and just start messing around with the jaw, which is very nice. I know you're comfortable with her, but it almost like it sounds kind of blasé for you. Like, yeah, she had maggots and what, blood coming out of the eyes.
It's funny, man. I mean, I've been doing this stuff since I was 10 years old, 16, making a living at it.
Sure.
So it's funny. People come to my shop and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so amazing." I'm
You're like, yeah,
look
dude,
at
that
this
was so
crap
last
and this
week.
and this and this. And yeah, it's funny. It is. I guess it is like that for me.
What's she made out of?
Desensitized. Most of this stuff is silicone, and it's this very same silicone that's inside of boobies and whatever.
Now, this is a torso action here. This is a torso made up to look like an entire body, right?
Yes, this was just basically a head. I threw this on it just for television. This was for a short-lived television show we did called The Inside, and she ripped her own face off in this show. So we built this fun little insert here of.
Now, this final guy here, what's going on with this head?
This is from a film I did, a really cool little film. It's coming out, I believe, in February, called Dirty with Cuba Gooding Jr. And this was sort of an apparition of an old man that was haunting the main characters throughout the movie. So I thought he turned out kind of neat, so I thought I'd bring him.
No, he looks fantastic. Is it all the same material for all of them? All
Yeah,
silicone?
this is silicone as well. I did a makeup that corresponds on a real live human every day.
And how long to toss something like this together?
I think this took a couple of weeks. Just a couple of weeks to. It took me probably about almost a week just to paint that because it's all the fine little details with all the little veins and everything. So yeah.
It is disturbing.
It's a
I know you're used to it,
process.
but I hope I need to remind you that it is very disturbing, but also very, very cool. And we appreciate you bringing it by.
Yeah,
Rob.
thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate
Very
it,
nice
man.
stuff. All right, thanks to his bloody work on such classic movies as Friday the 13th, Dawn of the Dead, and From Dusk Till Dawn, Tom Savini showed us that brains, entrails, and tortured scream make for some damn fine entertainment. Tom, thank you for coming on the show.
I want to start first. Your nickname is the King of Splatter, or that's
Yeah, King of Splatter, Wizard of Gore, Dr. Blood.
Sex Machine.
You know, Sex Machine.
We won't explain that one now. But I want to get to the King of Splatter.
King of Splatter.
Is that title fitting? Do you agree?
Yeah, you know, at a time it was. In the 80s, I did one splatter movie after another, you know, but I tried to make the transition to creatures, but now we're back to splatter, aren't we?
Yeah. Does that hurt you that you're back, or are you glad?
No. I'd rather have my name out there than nobody ever, hearing who I am, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Returning to the roots. Now, you remade Night of the Living Dead, so
yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the experience of remaking a film.
Oh, well, that was a horrible experience. Yeah. There's about 40% of what I intended is on the screen, but
What happened? Did it get away from you, or?
No. The problem was, how do you make zombies scary again? You had Joe Piscopo's beer commercial, Michael Jackson's Thriller, So how do you make zombies scary again? There's only so much you can do to the face and the hands.
Do you agree with CG over the use of traditional makeup effects? Or?
I love CGI when it's done well.
Right.
Because there's only so much we can do with makeup. And The Mummy's a perfect example. The depth of damage, and you couldn't possibly do that with makeup. Arnold in T3, the way he looked at the end, couldn't possibly do that with makeup. There's a collective thing against CGI because you have to pretend it's there. Right. You have to change your mindset to watch something like that. When I was doing effects in Rick Baker, American Werewolf in London, that stuff was happening right in front of your eyes. So there's us old timers love when it's really happening in front of you, and it's the new generation that maybe doesn't want to make that effort to change their mindset to pretend it's really there. But once you do that,
you're
it's
fine.
Great,
you're fine. Enjoy the eye candy.
Especially if it's
worrying
done
about
well.
it.
Yeah.
And what about the big screen? You're going to be playing any characters on the big screen?
Well, Land of the Dead comes out in June. I play a part in that. Yeah, that's
very nice.
Yeah.
Tom, on behalf of all the gamers out there, we appreciate anything you can do to make that game gory. So,
it will be. It will be. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Tom.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Don't go away, everybody. Attack of the Show special Girls, Geeks, and Gore edition continues right after this.
Attack of the Show, baby. Attack.
That's all for tonight, folks.
Don't forget our live E3 coverage beginning May 9th will come at you live for 3 hours from the show floor with hands-on demos and first look previews of all the games you gotta get.
Visit G4TV.com for up-to-the-second info. Meanwhile, I'm Olivia Munn.
And meanwhile, Kevin Pereira.
That was my line.
I'm just saying, well, we're both meaning while.
Oh, okay. Good night.